Welcome back. So far we have covered server-side encryption with S3 and server-side encryption with KMS. Now in this lesson we are going to cover server-side encryption with customer provided keys, or SSE-C. Now in server-side encryption S3 and KMS, we did not have to provide the key. I mean, in KMS we did use the key that we created, but the key was created the key was created and it's stored in KMS. Now for the server-side encryption customer provided keys, I basically provide a key with the API call, and AWS uses that key to encrypt the files on the server side at rest. So it's a little bit different than both of the previous options, and as you can see, actually it's quite different, I would say. And let's get started with the command line, and you'll see how it's done. But before that, I quickly want to go to the documentation, the command line reference, and now this is the copy command, AWS S3 copy, and as you can see here you can find all the commands that I used in the previous lessons, but specifically for this lesson we are interested in this part, these two piece of text. And to do server-side encryption using custom provided keys of the object in S3, so AES-256 is the only valid value. So basically what I need to say is, when I say dash SSE-C, the only value that I can put will be AES-256 encryption. You don't have to worry about that, because if you don't provide any value, AES-256 is used by default. Now when you say this, you also have to provide these this key, which is the key that will be used to encrypt the file and the object. Now the customer provided encryption key, so we will be providing key on each API call, right? It's not like KMS where the key is stored and I can reuse that key because it's stored in AWS. Well, I could also reuse this key that I am about to provide, but it won't be stored in AWS. Anyways, the customer provided encryption key to use to server-side encrypt the object in S3. If you provide this value, SSE-C must be specified as well. That makes sense. The key provided should not be base 64 encoded. Now so basically we have to follow a certain guideline to while providing the key that is used to encrypt the object. Now this part where we need to provide the key, the key has to be of a certain kind, and I don't use this option as much, but I wanted to show this to you anyways. And so to generate that key, what we have to do is, we either have to have a key with us or we have to generate that key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tool called OpenSSL. It should be installed already if you're on a Linux or a Mac machine. If not, then you can go to OpenSSL. You can type in OpenSSL on Google, or if you're in Windows, then you can type in OpenSSL for Windows, and you can download it. And basically what we need after we download the OpenSSL is we basically want a key that we can use to encrypt that file. So I'm going to show this on my Mac machine. On Windows, you basically have to follow the instructions to generate a key. So and I think it should be you should get an idea once I do this on a Mac that what is actually happening. So on my terminal, I'm going to say OpenSSL enc sk. So this command will give me a 128 bit key that is that can be used to encrypt our file, right? So I'm gonna copy the key part, the key portion right here. All right, and so this is basically what I want. So it should be like a 32 character key. Now if I go down, and obviously I want to save this key somewhere so that I don't lose it, so maybe I'll do that. So I'll say echo save that key to key.txt. If you're on Windows, then basically copy that text, put it into a notepad, save that file so that you don't lose that key, because if you lose that key, then you lose the access to the file. There's no way to decrypt the file. So echo that, so I saved that key. Now what I want to do is start doing the same thing that I used to do. AWS S3 copy. Now this time I want to copy the third file that I have, which is I think it was bucket. Copy bucket.jpg to my folder, which is this. Right, so as we saw on the documentation, I have to include dash SSE-C. So I'm going to say SSE-C, and once again, if I go back to the documentation, I also have to include SSE-C key, and that's where I paste the key that I generated. Right, so right here, enter. And there we go, we uploaded that file. Now I want to go back to my S3 console, go inside the bucket and find bucket.jpg, click on it, and yeah, it does not show me anything saying it does not give me key, or does not say what kind of encryption it is. But what happens if I try to open this? Right, yeah, I get some kind of the object was stored using a form of server-side encryption. Then the correct parameters must be provided to retrieve the object. So there's no way to retrieve the object with the console once again, and what you need to do to retrieve this object is and let's do this. So if I go back to the bucket, then white and black were uploaded using KMS and S3 encryption, right? So once again, these two were used to encrypt white.jpg and black.jpg. So I'm going to try to download those files. So I'm going to say AWS S3. Now this time I want to reverse the order, right? So S from my S3 bucket slash white.jpg and to my current directory. I can say dot if you're in Linux. If you're in Windows, give your relative or absolute path and enter. Oh, I missed a CP. So I have to say, well, let me clear the screen first. So after S3 I missed a CP, so enter. So I was able to download the white. Now I'm gonna try to download the black.jpg file. I was able to download the black.jpg. Now what happens if I try to download bucket.jpg? Right? Bad request, fatal error. So basically what it's saying is that I can't download this without providing the keys. So the way to download this, all right, so to download that file, what I need to the command that I need is AWS S3 copy from my S3 bucket of S3, well, I think it's my bucket S3 encrypt, and the name is bucket.jpg to my maybe desktop slash S3 encrypt. So that's the destination folder, and I have to say once again SSE-C and SSE-C key, and the key that I need to provide is the key that we encrypted the file with. Looks like I misspelled the bucket name, ENCRY, my bucket S3 encrypt. So let me check the name of the, oh, encryption. Okay, this should do the trick, and there we go. You can see that the download is successful now, right? So I've downloaded this successfully by providing the same key that I encrypted the file with. So if you use the SSE-C option, then you have to be very careful that you save that key. Now I made sure that I saved that key in key.txt so that I don't lose it, and this would be the way to go. So basically it does look a little bit messy, but sometimes depending on your requirement and your compliance, you might need to provide encryption key you know, every time you encrypt a file. Now you know, just if you're confused, then go through the documentation that I'll include the link. Try to go through this video 1 or 2 times, and you know, let me know if you have any questions. And like I said, you know, it does look a little bit messy, but this is how you do the SSE-C, which is customer provided keys. And that's it for the types of encryption when uploading files or objects to your S3 bucket. Now in the next video we will look into how to encrypt the whole bucket with a certain kind of encryption, and I'll see you in that video. Thank you.